Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to this video. In this section, we are going to talk about Hadoop ecosystem. This is section 2 of this course. So in section 1, what we learned is what is big data, what is Hadoop, what is HDFS, MapReduce, Yarn, and how this whole thing works. In this section, we are going to talk about Hadoop ecosystem. What exactly is ecosystem? Now, Android or iOS, they are like core operating systems, and on top of it you can have third party apps. Very similarly, at the very base, Hadoop is nothing but HDFS, Yarn and MapReduce, it's the framework, and on top of it you can have ecosystem projects or apps. Just to give an example, if you buy an Android or iOS and if you want to stay in touch with the personal side of your world, you would have Facebook app. If you want to stay in touch with what is trending, you might want to have a Twitter app. Very similarly, there are apps that are written on top of Hadoop and they solve certain use cases. Those apps are called as Hadoop ecosystem. So let's first bring everything together and we'll then start with each and every ecosystem individually. Now, let's take this as a conversation between a consultant and a freelancer or a manager. So you have a freelance consultant and a manager. Manager wants to set up a Hadoop cluster in his organization. So manager calls the consultant and says, I want to set up a 50 node cluster in my organization. Can you help? So the consultant says, why not? First, buy the hardware. So the manager goes for shopping and purchases the hardware. So on the master, set up resource manager, data node, node manager. Now that the manager has set up the cluster, the first question manager has for the freelance consultant is, how do we ingest data? How do we ingest data? For ingesting data, the tools available are Hadoop FS, that's the shell, the Java API, and we'll have couple of ecosystem projects. We'll have Scoop if you want to get data from relational database to HDFS. You will have Flume that will get data from log files to HDFS. So whatever is in the blue, we are talking of Hadoop ecosystem projects and we'll be covering them in detail in the next videos. So Scoop and Flume are two ecosystem projects that are used to ingest data. Now that manager has ingested data, it's time for manager to process it. So the manager has a question for consultant. What are the possible ways of processing the data? First one is MapReduce, and then you have Pig, Hive, Impala, Spark. So these are, again, you could visualize them as third party apps that are created on top of Hadoop so that you can process your data. So far in the diagram, we have seen 6 ecosystem projects: Spark, Flume, Pig, Hive, Impala, and these are 6. Now let's look at the next question that manager has. The next question that manager has for the consultant is, what if I want to create workflows on top of Hadoop? So to create workflows, the tool that you use is called as Oozie. The tool that you use is called as Oozie. So Oozie is the next ecosystem project that we are going to talk about. Now, can I use my Hadoop cluster and let's say instead of processing, can I basically store data for retrieval? So you can have a NoSQL database on top of Hadoop, and that NoSQL database is called as HBase. So HBase is a NoSQL database on top of HDFS. So these are some of the ecosystem projects that we are going to look in the sections ahead. So let's jump into the sections and let's understand the purpose of each and every ecosystem project that we are discussing out here. Thanks for watching this video, and let's get into the ecosystem projects in the next video. Thank you.